absolutely ages ago, right at the start of all this, somebody tagged me in a thing called Reading with Dogs or Reading to Dogs. I can't remember what it's called. Someone's going to have to remind me. Literally, look at me. I've not put any makeup on. Just don't care. But I have washed my hair, especially to do all these videos. Anyway, the thing was hashtag reading with your dog or something. So I'm going to do it, but you will realise why it's been a little bit tricky for me, because Hardy is not quite a year old, and sitting still listening to a book is just not something he really wants to do very much. What Hardy wants to do is go running around the field. Where's Sheepy, Hardy? Where is he? He's underneath, he's on the floor. Are you ready? I'm going to read to you. You listening? Okay. Can they see you? Can they see your lovely face? Okay. So I'm reading from my book Beauty Sleep. Yeah. And I'm reading from chapter 6 because I want to read to you from one of the characters. His name is Shem. Shem's best mate is a dog called Scrag, so it seemed appropriate. I should tell you that Shem is homeless. I was full of beans. Not literally, I was full of water and dry bread, but that was a whole lot better than nothing, which was quite often what I had for breakfast. Hardy's gone. He's not listening. He might come back. Let's see. I'll tell you what he's doing. He's chasing bees. This is not Shem's chapter. This is me narrating my insane life right now. Let's try it again. I was full of beans. Not literally. Literally, I was full of water and dry bread, but that was a whole lot better than nothing, which is quite often what I had for breakfast. The sun was shining, and Scrag was trotting along next to me, weeing on anything that stayed still long enough. Bert used to call them P-mails, little messages for his doggy pals. It made me smile remembering that. I'd always say, nah, he's a modern dog. They're status pup dates. I missed Bert. Since he'd gone, I'd been a bit braver about going out. I'd had to be, really. It was impossible to get food otherwise. Bert had always done the food runs, leaving me strict instructions not to go anywhere until he came back. Food hunting had to be done in the day because shops locked everything up at night, including the bins. I'd been nervous about it first, but it was all right. I was careful, and we did okay, me and Scrag. We headed for a little supermarket by the seafront. On a sunny day, it was always full of people buying stuff they'd forgotten to pack for their jolly day at the beach. More people meant less chance of me getting caught borrowing stuff. It had been a few weeks since I'd been in there, so I reckoned it was safe to give it another go. When we got there, I said to Scrag, "Right-o, little fella, you stay here, I'll be 2 ticks." I smiled at myself. Sometimes I sounded more like Bert than Bert. And I liked how I could still hear him in my own voice. It made him feel closer. I went inside. It wasn't busy. Damn. Oi, you! I looked up, knowing full well that was the tone of voice reserved for scumbags and maggots. Me, in other words. A huge, hairy shop worker called over. "I'm watching you. I'm getting some food for my dog." If you're a bit scruffy, people automatically think you're a thief. I found the dog food and picked up the cheapest can before heading back to the door where Hairy Face was stacking some floppy lettuces. "Just getting a basket, if that's okay with you," I said. He grunted, and when he turned back to his rabbit food, I slipped an apple in my pocket. At the cheese fridge, I tucked a tiny block of cheddar up my sleeve. I didn't say I wasn't a thief. I said people shouldn't assume I was one just because I was a bit scruffy. Anyway, I planned to pay them back when I had money. I was good at making stuff, like an inventor, and one day that would pay. One day. I grabbed a pint of milk and put it in the basket and headed for the checkout. "Can I have a bag?" I said. "They're 50p. Oh. I counted out the coins I had, enough for the milk and Scrag's tin of food, with 20 pence left over. I said, "Will you take 20? It's 50 pence, and if you're paying with cash, it's 10% extra. Come on, there are people waiting." I looked behind me. A queue had grown. That was perfect. If I spent enough time searching through my pockets and asking questions. 10% extra? That a new poor tax, is it? I don't make the rules, mate. It costs them more to bank it or something. Well, how much is another 10%? Didn't you go to school? Someone huffed behind me. Excellent. Just a few more seconds and... "Oh, here you go, take it." Bingo! I took the bag, gave him the coins, and left him muttering to himself as I stepped outside. Sometimes small victories meant the world. I made a fuss of Scrag for a minute, and then we sneaked around the back of the store, me mentally crossing my fingers that the bin would be open, and yes! I glanced quickly behind me in case I was being watched. Believe it or not, people don't like you taking stuff from bins. Honestly, I really don't get that. I'm doing them a favour. They have to pay to get rid of the waste, so really, taking stuff from the bin probably paid for the apple and the cheese. The bin was a treasure trove. Yoghurt, donuts, more cheese, even a packet of ham that was only a day out of date. I shoved what I could in the carrier bag, seconds before the back door of the shop opened and out came Hairy Face. "Oi, you, I knew it!" "Thanks," I called, legging it. I knew he wouldn't chase me. It was far too much effort for no good reason. I'd just stay away for a few weeks, then there'd be someone new behind the till, and I might get lucky again. I let the heavy bag swing beside me, enjoying its satisfying weight. "We'll have a feast today, Scraggy boy." I whistled as we walked. I was thinking the day couldn't be more perfect when I spotted a huge black car coming towards me. My heart flipped over. It wasn't the first time I'd seen that car, and every time I did, it gave me the creeps. The last time I saw it, it slowed down like it was checking me out. I was relieved when it drove past me, but it came back, and this time it slowed to a crawl beside me and the driver's door slid open. The guy swiveled in his seat so he could properly intimidate me. Definitely the same ugly brute in a suit I'd seen a few days ago. His car alarm went mental. "Driver's side door is open. Please close the door." "Hello again, boy." I wanted to run. I tried to get out of his reach, but the pavement was too narrow. My heart was starting to hurt. It was thudding so hard. "Aren't you going to say hello, then? It's not very polite, is it? I'm pretty sure you were brought up better than that." I flicked a panicked glance towards him. What did he mean? Was he talking about Bert? His car said, "Please close the door. Driver assist will close the door." The car kept pace with me, and the man's big gorilla arm reached for my carrier bag. I snatched it back as the car door began to slide shut with him inside. He forced it back open. The car said, "Locating safe place to stop." "You got the wrong bloke, mate," I said, walking quickly away as the car slowed. I could hear him behind me yelling at his car. "Just drive, will ya? I decide what's safe for me, you pile of parts." "I'm sorry, I do not recognise your instruction. Would you like to return to the main menu?" I didn't hang about to listen. There was an alleyway ahead. I scooped up Scrag and ducked down it. And if you want to read more of this book, it's called Beauty Sleep. It's really only suitable for you if you're probably 12 plus, maybe 11 if you're quite an advanced reader. Enjoy. I hope you're all okay. Take care. Bye.